Yo, what's up everybody? It's me, Wisp again, and in this video I will actually be talking about another incarnate weapon and the build of it. And as you can probably already tell by the thumbnail as well as the title, it's the Dread. So I'm not going to be wasting any more time, and I'm immediately going to get into the build. Okay, so here I am at my arsenal, and first things first, I'm going to be talking about the incarnate evolutions. So the first one is the basic one, which transforms your weapon to the incarnate form. What this does is it removes the silence from this bow, but it increases the projectile size and it deals heat damage. So as you can see here, I only have viral, impact, puncture, and slash, but if we activate the incarnate form, I get heat as well. It actually replaces puncture. Then I have my second low evolution right here. I recommend running Hitman's Opportunity unless you have both of Stalker's other weapons equipped. The Dread, this is the Dread, the Hate and Despair. But what Hitman's Opportunity does, it increases base damage by plus 70, so it's not multiplicative. And you deal 100% plus damage to enemies which are below health HP. Now, Stalker's Resentment is it increases base damage by plus 50. And if you have Hate and Despair also equipped, hits increase base damage by plus 10 and plus 10 fire rate, which stacks up to 5 times. This resets when you miss a shot. Then the third evolution is more or less a quality of life mod. You get 30+% projectile speed, a minus 30% zoom, or more ammo capacity. I personally use Swift Deliverance, which is the bonus projectile speed, but to be honest, you can just use anyone that you like. Although Swift Deliverance will probably boost your DPS since you can, hit your target faster. Now, Evolution 4 is pretty similar to most incarnates. I have Zeroed In activated. This increases my base critical damage multiplier by plus 1 times. Then Elemental Balance gives you more base status chance, and Survivor's Edge gives you an increase in base critical chance and base status chance by both plus 10%. Then I have my build right here. I actually have every single mod maxed this time, which is surprising for myself when I was actually preparing for this video. Now, if we're going to talk about this build, it's pretty basic. You have Galvanized Chamber and Aptitude, which are basically the most important mods for Steel Path, as Galvanized mods replace the basic versions. Then I have, some basic critical chance mods right here, critical damage, critical chance, as well as Malignant Force for Toxin and Rhyme Rounds for Cold, which does viral. Then I have Serration and a Riven mod right here. My Riven mod gives me more critical damage as well as a fire rate. This mod is very nice for the Dread because the fire rate is actually doubled for bows. So instead of 80, I have around 160% fire rate, which is quite nice. You could also replace Serration with Galvanized Scope, so you get a more critical chance. And here, so you will actually get more orange and red crits of this. I run primary Dreadhead because, Galvanized Chamber and Galvanized Chamber, no, never mind that, I don't know what I'm saying. I run primary Dreadhead because it gives you, on headshot kills, it gives you more damage for 24 seconds, which is quite a nice time, and it actually stacks up to 3 times. You could also run Merciless, but what I don't like about Merciless is that the damage resets after 4 seconds. So if you, miss enemies or they just don't spawn fast enough, you will just get reset back to 0. But this does stack to 12 times, which is also nice. So I believe that's enough said for the Dread so far, and I will actually get onto the build. Or the simulacrum, my bad. Okay, so I'm here in the simulacrum room once again, as in my other videos. I am just going to do a quick showcase of the bow. It's nothing special without the incarnates, just any other bow like the Paris, for example, which also has a incarnate, but I just don't own it yet. But I've heard from people that the Dread is better. But I will be taking a look at the Paris sometime soon, when I actually get it, because I deleted it since I had it maxed. So obviously the Dread is a normal bow. You can just tap fire, which is not very recommended because you will deal very little damage, but if you actually hold it, you will be doing way more damage. Then if you transform into the incarnate, you get a very big projectile, which has a lot of punch through per enemy. So if I just shoot this row here, everybody will get damaged. And you deal additional heat damage. As you see, I've damaged every single enemy in this row right here. Try to get a headshot. But as you see, this weapon does do some nice damage. Big status, big critical damage as well. And thanks to the Riven, it deals even more critical damage. But I'm also going to show you guys how this weapon performs when you buff it. For example, with my Wisp build that I'm going to leave in the comments. I just raise the reservoirs, to them, turn invisible, and as you can see, I just started one-shotting everything. So yeah, this weapon is very good, even if you don't buff it with like Wisp or any other buffer or the same way. And I believe that this already is the end of the video. I am going to leave my Wisp build in the description, so you guys make sure to check out that video as well, because I do believe that this is one of the better builds of Wisp that I have seen personally. I've tried out a lot of builds, but this one has caught my eye the most. I mean, caught my eye, made it myself. But yeah. So before I end the video, I just want to tell you guys that I am open for criticism. So if you have anything to say, please do leave it in the comments, as I am a starting YouTube channel. I just started quite recently. So you can probably tell by my subscribers count, it's pretty low. But just please keep it respectful, you know, some people do take criticism more harshly than others. Some people can get burnt out by negativity or other things like that. So if you do have anything to say, make sure you do leave your opinion down in the comments. I will read every single comment. Might react, might not, depending on if I have the time. But I will make sure to react to almost all of them. But the only thing I ask of you is to stay positive. Even negative things can be said in a positive way. And on that note, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will find this build well. And have a great night or day, or whatever you guys are having. And I will see you guys next time.